Okay. Now it is started. So let's discuss first of all abstraction. So yesterday we implemented some small programs for knowing the concept or how it is implementing this concept, how it is implemented as program. So today we will discuss in detail, that is abstraction in Java. It is nothing but hiding the implementation details, right? It is hiding implementation details, and also it is providing security or it giving standardization for our code. So mainly when we are creating softwares, uh, there are uh, some conventional uh, things that we have to follow. We have to mention command lines, and there are certain rules that we have to follow when we are writing codes. So one of that is actually we have to keep our program in a standardized way. So these abstraction interfaces are completely giving standardization for the programs. So for achieving abstraction, we have to use abstract classes and interfaces. So abstract classes does not provide complete abstraction, or it will not provide complete standardization, because an abstract class can contain or it may contain abstract methods and also normal method. So normal method is nothing but there is the declaration, there is a signature, and also its definition also will available. That is our normal methods, or it can be called as instance method. And abstract method is nothing but there is only the declaration part. There is no definition. We have to implement that definition in another class by extending this abstract class. So like in the normal classes, we are for accessing the variables methods from another class, we use that object. For a particular class, if you want to access the methods, means you will create object through that method, you will access all those things. But in an abstract class, we can't create object for that. We can't instantiate any object for abstract classes, because uh, there is abstract methods are there. That is only the declaration part. So by inheriting that declaration doesn't mean anything. Does it mean anything, right? We have to extend that and we have to implement that method. So we can't create an object for abstract classes. Okay, and one thing is that this abstract class is containing, that I already told you, it will contain normal methods and abstract classes. So we can't create object for that. Then how we access that normal methods which is contained in an abstract class? That's that if we want to access that normal method when from an abstract class, means we have to just inherit that property, right? We have multiple level of inheritance, single inheritance, multiple inheritance. Sorry, multiple inheritance is not allowed in Java. So multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance, all those things are there. We have to just use the keyword extends and we can inherit all the things. So without using that or without creating the object, we can access those normal methods which is contained in the particular abstract class. Okay, so interface is completely abstract. It is completely providing standardization because it is only containing abstract method. That is definition, sorry, declaration of methods are only there in the interface. There is no definitions. Okay, so all the points are given. A method without body, that is an abstract method. So if you want a class to contain a particular method, but you want the actual implementation of that method to be determined by the child class. So you have to declare the method in the parent class as an abstract class. So when you are inheriting or you are implementing those methods in a particular class, means that class will act as a child class, and that inherited class will be our super class, that we can call it is like that. And this is the rules to declare an abstract method. So abstract keyword is used to declare the method as abstract. you have to place the abstract keyword before the method name in the method declaration. And an abstract method contains a method signature but no method body. So instead of curly braces, an abstract method will have a semicolon. That already we seen yesterday. We already implemented all those things. And today we have certain programs to explain. So after this PPT, we will explain that. And also I think in this PPT is containing some examples. So that is what the rule for declaring an abstract method. Here it is the rules for an abstract class. A class which contains abstract keyword in its declaration is known as abstract class. So it may contain abstract methods, that is methods without body. But if a class has at least one abstract method, then the class must be declared as abstract. Otherwise, we will get an error. Right? A normal class will not contain any abstract methods. That is not allowed. So if a class is contain at least one abstract method, that is if a class is contain a declaration of a method, but it doesn't have the definition, means you must declare it as abstract. Otherwise you will get an error. That's what the rule for creating abstract classes. So, to use an abstract class, you have to inherit it from another class, provide implementations to abstract method in it. And if you inherit an abstract class, you have to provide implementations to all the abstract method in it. Otherwise, you will get an error. Okay. And so this is one example. So let's discuss this example. So here, this is one abstract class. This is from line 2 to 5, which is an abstract class. So it is declared as abstract class sports bike. And it is containing one declaration part, that is an abstract method is there. It is abstract void engine. So this is a separate class, right? From 2 to 5, it is a class. And here we have another class called from 6 to 12. It is another class lightweight, which is extending the sports bike class. That is nothing but our abstract class. And here this abstract method is implemented here. Public void engine. It's going to print bike CC is about 500. So this is an independent another class. Sorry, not it is independent, it is just extending the sports bike abstract class. And here from line 13 to 19, it is another normal class which is extending our abstract class sports bike, and it is also implementing that particular method engine here. And it is printing this middleweight class is printing bike CC is about 600 to 900. And so here are another class which is super bike. It is extending the same abstract class sports bike, and it is implementing that abstract method, and it is printing bike CC is about 1000. So except the main class, we have another normal three classes and one abstract class. One is like super bike, then middleweight and lightweight. And these three classes are extending our abstract class, which is called sports bike. And also these three classes are implemented that abstract method, which is in the abstract class agent, and it's having different definition, right? So this is actually given a give a standardization, right? All of these having different same what mother name, and it does and it's having different definition, right? And in the main class, it is also separate. So in the main class, or it is done here. In the main class, we are created object for lightweight class, and also object for the super bike class, which is bike 1 and bike 2. And using that object, we are called our method, which is age. So what will be our output? We are created the object for lightweight and also for super bike. So whatever inside that engine classes in that particular class. So super bike is going to print bike CC is about 1000. So this will be our second output, and the first output is from the lightweight class, which is bike CC is about 500. This is what we get. output. Okay. And any doubt means you can mention in the chat box. And so how anyone have an idea about how to create an abstract class? It's very simple using the abstract keyword, right? So this is this an abstract class? Yes. Is this an abstract class? This is a normal class, and if you run like this means you will get an error because this class is a normal class, right? And a normal class will not contain any abstract class. So here it is. This is an abstract method. This is how we declare an abstract method actually. Instead of that open and curly brackets, we will have a semicolon, right? That means this is a abstract method. So a normal class will not contain an abstract method. So for solving this error, what we have to do means one way is you have to implement this method. You have to write the definition part of this eat method. Otherwise, you have to make this class as abstract. So two solutions are there. One way is implement this method. Otherwise, make this class as abstract. Right? So if you run this code like this means you will get the error like this, missing the method body or declare abstract. Two solutions are there. You have to write the task or the definition part, otherwise you have to declare that normal class as abstract. This is what we get you when you run this code. Okay. And here it is. Make it as abstract. Okay. And here also we will get an error because if a class it is containing at least one abstract class means you have to make that class as abstract. So this also will get an error. So animal is not abstract and does not override abstract method eat. So the class animal is not an abstract class. So it won't contain any or it should not contain any abstract methods. So this is also not valid in Java. And the next one, so this is completely fine. And abstract class animal, so the class animal is an abstract one. It's containing an abstract code. So by default in no, this is fine. This is fine. In an interface that is not needed. So interface will only contain abstract methods, right? So in an interface, if you are declaring an interface and you are writing that abstract keyword, that is not needed. By default, it is abstract in interface because it doesn't allow any concrete classes or instant classes or normal classes. Okay, so this is completely fine. And so this is run. So this is one program. So this is how we are extending or this for abstract classes we can't object, we can create object, right? So for overcoming that or you have to implement abstract method, you have to just extend, you have to use extends keyword, right? So this is how abstract methods are inherited. So this is one program. So what is actually happening here means this is our abstract class and this class herbivorous which is extending our abstract class animal, and here it is. So one thing is that Okay, so here actually we got an error because here we extend that animal, but we didn't provide the implementation of this particular method, so that we get an error here actually. Okay, we have to implement that one. Otherwise, we will get error and also warning when we are using Eclipse. The same thing which is done here. Okay, and so here. Uh, So here actually what it's done here means our abstract class is here from line 1 to line 4. Abstract class is having an abstract method which is 8. The herbivorous is a normal class which is extending our animal abstract class, and it is implemented our method, our abstract method here. So it's completely fine. And coming to our carnivorous class which is extending the same abstract class, and it is creating or it is implementing that particular abstract method. And here in the main function what it's done here, it's created object for the animal class, right? So animal is an abstract class, so we can't create an object. So here we will get an error. So animal is abstract, cannot instantiate animal code, which is an error actually. That's why because there is only definition, sorry, there is no definition is available. That's why we got an error. We can't instantiate or we can't create object for abstract classes. This what we have to keep in mind. We can't create object for abstract classes. There is only declaration is available. So that's doesn't mean a thing. That means only declaration, right? So this is another same program. So it is written in a correct way. That is the same what we have to the same the corrections are allowed. That is so this is our abstract class, abstract method, herbivorous extending animal. It's fine. It's implemented that method. That is completely fine. And another class carnivorous extending the same animal class, and it is implemented that particular abstract method. So here it is completely fine. All the things are fine. And here and another class of novels, which is extending the same animal class, and also it is implemented that method. And in the main class, what it's done here, it's created animal god, which is equal to new herbivorous. So herbivorous is actually what? It is the constructor of our herbivorous class. So herbivorous is a normal class, so it's completely fine. So animal tiger equal to new carnivorous, it is also fine. And bear, animal bear equal to new omnivorous. So that using that object we are called that particular method. So goat dot eat, tiger dot eat, bear dot eat. All the things are will run smoothly. There is no any problem, right? This is how we have to write abstract uh, classes, or how we are achieving abstraction in programming. Okay, so another one is a program. We have to predict its output. Okay, so only one slide of program. So in this one, we have an abstract class here from line 2 to 5. Abstract class animal, it is having an abstract method which is sound. And this another class from line 6 to 17, and another class which is called lion, and it is extending our abstract class animal, and it's also implemented that abstract method here. The abstract method void sound, it is implemented here. It is printing a roar. And in the main method what we done here, created object for the lion class, and using that object we are called the obj.sound. So the output will be what? It will print this sound function will print roar, right? So just go through the code, and if you have any doubt means you can mention in the chat box. And the next one is also a one program. You have to predict its output. So the same, an abstract method is here. So a base, an abstract class called the base. It's so this is not an abstract method. It is a normal method, or we can call it as instant method because its definition is available here, right? System it this void function is printing abstract class method, and this class and another class called the derived class, which is extending our abstract class base. And uh, in the main class we are created derived d equal to new derived, that is d dot fun. It will call which function? This function. We can't create the object for this base class. First of all, we have to inherit that class. So here in this derived class, this derived class is actually extended or inherited. We can call it as inherited, which is inherited this base class. So this derived class will have all the properties of this base class. So by using the object of this derived class, we can access this normal method in the class, in the abstract class base. So what we will get when we calling d dot fun, d is the object of the derived class. Using that object, we are accessed fun method, which is in the abstract class base. We can't create the object for this base class because it is abstract. Okay. And another one. So again, and another one actually. So we have to predict the output. Again, there is an abstract class which is here from line 2 to line 9 is our abstract class. So this class is containing an abstract method and also a normal method. So abstract method definition is here on the line 4. Abstract void abstract method. That's finished. So the declaration is finished. After that, from 4 to 7, it is our normal method, which is called a normal. It is printing I am inevitable. Okay, so we have another class called B, which is extending our abstract class A. So the abstract method is implemented here. That is void abstract method. It is printing I am Iron Man, right? And in the main method, we are created the object for the B class, which is extending our abstract class A. And using that B object, we are called our abstract method and also normal method. So it will print what? First it will print I am Iron Man because abstract method is called first. So I am Iron Man will be printed. Then normal method will run and I am inevitable will be printed. Okay, so the next one is, can an abstract class be final in Java? Yes, an abstract class be final. We can make variables, methods, class, all the things as final. Final means it is declaring like constant is actually final in Java. So when you are giving final to classes, final to methods, final to variables means it can be override because it is finalized. Uh, we can't what we can't use any properties from that particular class which is defined or it is declared as final, right? So it is also providing a security for your code. If you are declaring it as final means it won't be accessible by anyone because it is provided as final. We can't create object for that. So an abstract class also be a final class. So here it is one program. So final abstract class dress, right? So abstract class dress, which is given as final. So this final abstract, then protected private, which are called sorry, not protected private, final abstract, and one more is there. So these are actually called as, or this will comes under non-access modifiers, and public, private, uh, sorry, not private, public, protected, default. These are mm, access modifiers. Okay, so here it is an abstract class which is declared as final. It is having an abstract method which is type. And here we have a normal class from 5 to 11, and it's called menswear, which is extending our abstract class which is dress. And here it is implemented that the particular abstract method here it's going to print it's a menswear. And in the main class, what we done? The main class we have created the menswear class object here, which is code. Using that code, we are called the type method. But when we run this, we will get an error because a final class can be inherited. Right? A final class can be inherited. So you will get an error like this. Cannot be inherited from final dress. Because it is finalized, we can't use any property of that class. So this is what we get. Instead of constant, we are giving final. So this is all about abstraction in Java. So guys, is there any doubt? Any doubt means you can mention in the chat box, or you can unmute and tell me, and we will move on to the next one. Is it clear? Abstraction. Any doubt means you can share now itself.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go to some other topics. Let's discuss programs. Some aggregation programs or association programs we will discuss. So I'm just closing this. So in that first class, we discussed about association and its two types as aggregation and composition. So it is actually association is providing what communication between different classes using object, or it is you can use a reference. Using a reference, you can communicate with each other. So let's discuss some programs related to association. So first of all, it's the question that is write a Java program which contains class passport and class person. So compose the class passport in the class person, and class passport contains default constructor which sets the name, address, and passport number. So display the name of the person, address, and the passport number in the class person. So what we have to do means we have to write two different classes called passport and person. So in the passport class, we have to mm, declare those variables that name, address, and passport. And we have to get those values, and using a constructor, we have to pass those values, and we have to print those values in the class person. Okay, so yesterday using constructor we are passed the parameters, right? The same thing that we have to use here. But instead of that, we can, for accessing the values, we can use a reference value. So I will show you how it is done. So this is our code, only two slides of program. So let's discuss first the passport. So here it is, you can see that the first line that is import java.util.scanner. So yesterday I explained this one. This utility is a package and it's a scanner class. It is used to get input values. We used to get input. So like scanner, we have buffer reader and all. So buffer reader is a class which is take input only as a string, right? It will take all the inputs which we enter, it will take it is a as a string. After that, we have to convert those values. So, but in the scanner class, we will have separate methods for getting separate integers, separate characters, and all the things. Yesterday, I showed you that methods that is for getting. If you have only one word, means you can give like dot next and an open and closing parenthesis. If you have a sentence as an input, means you can give next line open and closing parameters. For getting int, you can give next int, then next float, next tuple, all those things for getting separate integers, all the methods are stored in the scanner class. So this is an updated, we can say like that, an updated updated version of that buffer reader. In the same way, we have to create classes for a buffer reader also. So here it is created, right? On the line 10, it is created object for that scanner class. So instead of this, you can give buffer reader bf equal to new buffer reader, and that system dot in we have to give some other values also. I'm not using that at all, so I just forgot that uh, that yeah, we will check that. So you can use this scanner class. So let's discuss one by one. So here we are imported our scanner class. So this is our class passport. It is from 2 to 12, and we are declared some values which we want, which are a name, address, and a number, right? Name, three values, and here we have a, this is one, this is a constructor. How we are identified as a constructor? It doesn't have any return type, right? Public, it's an access modifier, public passport, and it also have the same name as the class name. That is what a constructor. It doesn't have a return type and it's have the same name as its class name. So passport, and it is having three different arguments: name, address, number. And we know that what the purpose of this keyword. This is actually referencing the current object, sorry, the current variable in that current class. So the current class is nothing but our passport class. So the values which we are passing from our another class. Here the another class is nothing but our person class. Okay, so the values here in the, actually the inputs we are get in this person class, and using that constructor we are passing those values in the passport class, and those values get assigned to the variables which we declared in the passport class. That's actually what it is done here. This dot name equal to name that we passed to the constructor. So it will assign to these variables. And this dot address is assigned with the address which we passed. Like that, number will be assigned by the number which we passed. So this is all about passport. And coming to our person class, so this is the person class. In the person class, we are just created a reference for the passport class. That is actually here, the passport. This is nothing but it is an object creation. Okay, this is nothing but an object creation, that is passport, and then passport in small letters it is given, which is a reference to the passport class, or we can call it as an object. And here we have created an constructor for this person class. It have the same name as the class name, which is person. It is taking one argument, which is our passport. Passport has the argument, and this dot passport equal to passport. This is why it is done here, means here you can see that in line 15, 16 and 17, person dot passport dot name. Okay, person dot passport dot name. This is nothing but here we are created the person constructor, right? So sorry, not that. It's actually the object of the person class where we are now. We are in person class. So using the object of the person class, here we are declared the object of the, also we are created a reference of the passport class. So these two are references of that particular classes, person and passport. So person dot passport dot name. It is actually accessing the value in the passport class, right? The value in this name, address and number are actually accessed here using these two references, passport, and here it is on the line 14, person equal to new person. So person dot passport dot name, that is nothing but the name and address and a number from the class called passport. Okay, and here in the main class, we are created object for our scanner class, that is scanner is equal to new scanner system dot in. Then we are getting our input on line 10 to 12, that is string name equal to sc dot using the object of the scanner class sc dot next line. So that is for getting string values. The next one, address is also a string value. So address equal to sc dot next line, and another one, string number equal to sc dot next. So I already told you next is for taking input values, sorry, integer value. So here number is an integer type, and number we know that it is an integer type, but here it is given as string. So if you need any manipulations related to the inputs that we get, you can take it in its own data types. If it is a number means you can get it an integer type. So here actually we are getting those value and we are just printing. There is no any manipulation or there is no any other application that we have to perform. So we can take these things as string. We are just taking and we are just printing, right? So that it is given or it is declared as string number which is equal to sc dot next. So we get all those values. After that, we are created the object for the passport class to pass these values that we get. So passport p equal to new passport, and we are passed our input values to the constructor. This passport is actually a constructor, right? This is the class name, the object, the new keyword, and this is the constructor, right? So here the passport constructor is already defined here. It is having three arguments. That's why here we are passing three parameters: name, address, number. So we are passed this to the passport. After that, we are creating one object for the person class. Person equal to new person. To this, we are actually passing our p. That is nothing but our object of the passport class. This is actually just creating an reference. Okay. After that, what we are done? Person dot passport dot name. We are just filling. So what is actually done here in the person class, we are get all the values, and using the object create using that object of the another class called passport, we passed all those input values to the constructor passport, and those values are assigned to this name, address, and a number. And in the person class, using the reference of both classes, person and passport classes, we are accessed those values from the person class, sorry, passport class. This is just confusing, right? But we can done this in a single class actually. But this much passing parameters using constructors are given to uh, keep your program in a secured way, or to give a security for your program. So we can't use what that means when you are creating or developing programs, a large program, or you are handling a project means In that project team, that the sections, that the project will be divided into multiple modules, and each modules will be given to each individuals or each engineers. It will be given, right? So in one class, all those engineers can't write, right? They are working at the same time, so they can't write at the same time in a single class. So for avoiding that, in Java, we have multiple classes. For according to what the topic or what the section that we got, we can make a class for our own, and we can write what are the things to solve that particular program in that our class. And after completing all those modules, we can create the object and we can connect all those classes. And these all classes will contain in a single package, right? And this multiple package will be called as a project. That's why we are writing, or that's why we are using these constructors to pass in parameters between different classes. Actually, like if you are looking at this, that is passport person, you will have the doubt in the mind that is like, we can turn it the same class. Exactly, we can turn it in the same class. There is no issues. We don't need the constructors to pass in parameters between classes and using this reference variable to access that variable from the another class to passing to this. All those things are waste actually for these simple programs. But if you have a uh, project which is huge and it is having multiple modules, means you should write in multiple classes, and after all you have to create a link between them. You have to create a communication, so the communication is possible by objects. That's why we are uh, writing codes in different classes and passing these parameters. Okay, so this is what the first question. And the second question is, okay, it's a very large question. Okay, so guys, is there any doubt in this abstraction and the program that we discussed? Any doubt, guys? You guys are not responding. I don't know whether you guys are understood or not.
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, so what are the next topic? So let's discuss about interface. So let's discuss about interface. In we have 5 more minutes. So I will give you some introduction. It already we done. Sorry, yesterday we don't done program for interface actually. So let's discuss that one for a few minutes. So interface, it is look like a class, but it's not a class. An interface defines a set of specification that other classes must implement. So the how we are implementing classes using the class keyword. Like that, an interface is implemented using interface keyword. Instead of class, you have to give interface, the interface keyword. And the interface is only containing abstract method. It doesn't have any definition of any class or any method. There is only abstraction. Other classes must implement this interface. Okay. So interface is completely providing standardization for our code. So an interface can have methods and variables just like the class, but methods declared in interface are by default abstract. Abstract classes doesn't contain any definition. So here it is some code. Okay. So this is how we are implementing an interface using interface keyword, interface bike, and some other things are here. So in interface class, all the things are abstract and final. Whatever the things that you are declaring there, which is methods which are abstract. You don't have to mention abstract here because by default it is abstract. Okay. And the use of interface. It is used to achieve abstraction, complete abstraction. And by interface, we can support the functionality of multiple inheritance. So that's what I told you in the first class. That's a problem when we using multiple inheritance. There will be an ambiguities will create. So I will show you one example. One figure is actually here. Okay, so to avoid multiple inheritance are actually we are using interfaces. So this is a multiple inheritance. A class will inherit multiple classes. So that is not allowed in Java because of one issue, that is so that ambiguity problem, which is called as diamond ring problem. Okay, that is nothing but here. So this is one example of that one. So I will share you that. So this is one class, right? Worker. So this worker class is containing a speed method, which is printing grandparent. Okay. And this class bicycle, which is extending worker class. After that, in that vehicle class, it is used that speed. It is overridden that speed method which is in the vehicle class. So here actually this vehicle class is the super class, and these bicycle bikes which are base classes which is inheriting the super class vehicle, and it is overridden the method which is in the speed. Overridden means in the inherited class also methods which have the same name that is in the super class. So speed method is here and also is here, right? And the speed is 10 kilometer, but the definition is different. So in the one another class moped. So one another class is moped, which is extending two classes, bicycle and bike, right? Bicycle and bike, which is inherited by a class called moped. And this moped class, which is created one object here, EM. So when this moped class is extending the properties of bicycle and bike, these two methods and all the properties of these two classes, bicycle and bicycle, will be in the class called mopped, right? So here this mopped object, the object of this mopped class is calling speed uh, method. So there will create an ambiguity because this bicycle and also bike is containing the same name method. So there is an ambiguity will create. So that is actually the diamond ring program, and this is not allowed in Java. It is not supported in Java. To overcome this, we are using inheritance. So instead of this definition in that superclass or in the interface, we are just giving the abstract methods, that only the declaration, and according to our purpose, we have to write the definition for that class. So this is what a multiple or the diamond ring problem, right? So guys, any doubt? It's 2:52. I will share the attendance link. Any doubt, guys? Is it clear? Most in the interviews, they will ask like why multiple inheritance is not supported. It is actually because of diamond ring problem, that is that will create an ambiguity. That's why it is not allowed. For overcoming that, we are using uh, interfaces. So wait for a minute, I will share the link. guys, the link is on the chat box. You guys can fill that and we can wind up the session if you doesn't have any doubt. And you guys can leave, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.